Alright, hello. This is a video about cycle data for Instance Wrangler. So here it is in the UI. And what it does, it's pretty basic. It will, in essence, it will cycle through the data blocks of a given type. So this is a mesh object here. Inside of it is the mesh object named cube. But there are other mesh data blocks in this scene, and we can see them like from the data tab. Like clicking clicking this button will reveal all the other mesh data blocks that are in this scene, and cycle data will simply alphabetically cycle through this list. So if we select the cube and we hit next, we're just gonna see the other various mesh data blocks present in the scene, and so we can go forward or backwards. And of course we can do it for a multi-selection. So now it kind of turns into this weird carousel thing happening. And of course, yeah, we can go backwards, forwards, and we can click the random button and it'll just randomize the results. Okay, of course, I'm just gonna undo it for a moment. It also works on other types of objects. So this is a text object, and there are like it considers curves. Also, text objects are considered curves in Blender, but in Instance Wrangler we do kind of consider it its own type of object. So if I select this one and I hit next, it's just gonna cycle from one to the other, and it works on both or random. Although with just two in the scene, it won't be that random, I suppose. And then it also will work on curves, and it also works on surface objects or grease pencil objects, but I don't have those here in the scene. But yeah, let's see it work on these curves as well. Or on all of these at the same time. We can just hit random, next, previous. The one thing you'll notice, it won't go from a mesh object to a text object or a curve object. It will stay within its own group. We also have the filter here. What that will do is I can, for example, type in, like, let's look at the name. So it filters the name of the data block. So we need to like just consider what's in the list here, and then we can set up a filter. So I could type, for example, SUC, and then select all of these. And now if I go next and previous, it will just cycle through the objects named that have this as part of their name of the data block. Works for random as well. We could also, like, I know there's a cube or a torus, like let's say Tor, and now it will become, they will all go to the torus object. Or like if I just type B as part of cube, so it's kind of it takes a portion of the name. This is a little library of, we have some rocks and some trees, just very basic models that I quickly set up. So let's look through the object data, tree A and B and C, and then boulder A, B, C. And right here, I made two collections, one with objects named trees and one named boulders. So let's select the trees first. Right now they're just placeholders, little cubes. So what I will do is I will type tree right here. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong menu. Need to be in cycle data. So tree in the filter, and now I'll just hit random. And now, so what we end up with is like random trees in these locations, and I can select any of these and select different ones. So I regard this as a way of auditioning assets for certain locations. And so we have our little library set up, and then in the scene it can just, yeah, like take specific objects and like put them, and we can just cycle through different options. So let's do the same here for the boulders. So what I'll do, knowing that these, I was careful to name them boulder A, B, and C. In the object data specifically, we don't, the name of the object itself doesn't matter. It's really specifically about the object data, so keep that in mind. But yeah, so here we go. We select all the boulder placeholders. I'm just gonna type, let's say DER, part of boulder, see how this works, hit random. Okay, so like this illustrates an interesting problem you might run into. Like cylinder is also ends with that same name, so it will be a little bit more specific. And there we go. Now we're just cycling through different boulders, and yeah, we can just kind of pick and choose the ones that we think are best for any given location. All right, so that's one use case, the auditioning assets. Another one is we can cycle through LODs. We have two LOD groups set up here, LOD 0 and LOD 1. LOD meaning level of detail, which is useful in game engines, switching the amount of triangles on a mesh depending on the distance, so it helps to optimize the game. So we'll select the whole assembly here, and it's like a hierarchy of objects, but that doesn't really matter. All I care about right now is that I have everything selected. And like if we open up any of these objects, they are all using LOD 0 at the moment, which corresponds with the names that we have set up for these objects right here. Let me just quickly find them. All right, so here's the LOD 0 group. And if we look inside of the data block names, they are all named correctly as well. So again, selecting everything here, and now I can I'll remove the filter. I can go to the next object or go cycle to the next step in the cycle data, and now it moved everything to LOD 1 instead of LOD 0, because alphabetically it's just the next one in the list. So you know, it's a very basic system, but the results can be quite complex and interesting. So LOD 0 and LOD 1. And then of course, like once we have this whole assembly set to a certain LOD, we can use advanced copy to create a merged copy if we want it, and export that into any game engine. I'll just really quickly demonstrate that. And there we go. So that is now a merged copy of LOD 1. And if we go back one step and we do it once more, that is a merged copy of LOD 0. Yep. All right. So I'm very curious if people can come up with other use cases for cycle data. I'm sure there are. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.